In today's episode, I'm going to share exactly how I make six figures with emails, marketing, and especially email sequences. And so you can steal exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what my clients are also doing. So first of all, I was the person who was back-to-back launching. And this is actually not really how I started my business, because when I started online, let's say I have now 3 different businesses, but when I started online, I did not have a mentor. I did not know what other people were doing. And I was in a completely different niche, let's say, or industry. And so when I started creating, I just did what I knew from my brick and mortar business. And so what I done is that I was selling using emails because people were not around. Like it was not just like a local business, like people were traveling for events. And so we were doing a lot of email marketing, and we were not really on social media because that was not our thing. And so using all of this email marketing, when I came into the online world and I started working with different mentors, they just looked at my business and say, what are you doing? Like, try this way. You're going to make so much sales. And so I tried their way, which was launching, live selling with your content every single day, directing people to a masterclass during a month. So then in the masterclass, you do your pitch, and then that's kind of like your launch. And then you make no sales for 2 months until you do another one or like whatever. And this did not work at all for me. Financially, it worked very well, very, very well. But I just could not. I just could not be always in launch mode. I just also felt like I was a machine, and this was not just like what I wanted to share at this time with my people. I really needed to just almost like I wanted to say like manipulate, but really create something that is going to make them buy. Like this was not at all my vibe, and still is not. So what I have done is that I took the best of the two worlds, which means that I do live launch when I want to, and that I do a lot of backend selling. And so the backend selling happen in my email, in my funnels. I have a lot of affiliate, a lot of different things that are happening to help me make sales without showing up. I know that passive income has quite a bad reputation, and I think it's because a lot of people don't understand either how to do it, or it's not something that they want, or because they don't know what it means. But passive income is when you have an offer that is selling by itself. So even if you were not posting on social media about it, you will make sales from this. And so, of course, like this is something that I have set up. Like in case you are new here, by the way, my name is Gwen. I'm known as a funnel queen. And one of my 3 businesses is 100% passive. And I make multi-4 to multi-5 figures a month just from this one, doing 1 hour per month of work. So of course it works. Is this what I'm doing with this business? No. So with this business, I'm actually sharing what I have done with so many different businesses and with like 1,000 clients. So today we're going to talk especially about the email sequence, but I wanted you to really understand where this come from and why I have so much certainty about email marketing and how I cracked it, because it is something that I have been doing for so many years. And so really a question that changed everything for me was looking at my live launches and then looking at my backend sales and looking at how can I make them so they match each other. So how can I create backend experiences as much as I create a front end experience? So when I talk about experience is really to me talking about a journey. So when you bring someone on a journey, so when you do a live launch, you're going to create a journey. Like this person is going to go to your masterclass, and maybe in this masterclass they also have access to this Telegram where you welcome them in, you set the space, and they have this community, and there was so many little things that you do to make this experience amazing. And so when we look at our backend, with a lot of my clients, what I see is that their backend is not as good. Okay. So what we want to do here is to look at your backend experience and especially at the email sequence. And so we look at an email sequence. This could be your welcome email sequence. This can be your funnel email sequence. what I'm going to share with you today is going to work for both of them. And I'm setting up, by the way, right now with some of my clients, welcome email sequences and then email funnels. So this is really something that we do a lot. So first of all, let's talk about the mistakes and what to avoid. The sequences that are just like a freebie, and then they have 2 emails, and then it pitches your offer. This is often a mistake. Okay. So for the mistake, it's like, oh yeah, but like I'm only selling after the freebie $22 offer. Yeah. But if you create an experience that is really for someone who is cold, someone who doesn't know you, potentially something that you will put ads on later, you need more than 2 emails. And it needs to be more than a pitch, because people are pitched all the time. And what they want is you, it's not your pitch. So this is really like the first mistake. The second mistake is about AI. And if you know a little bit about me, I love AI. I love AI for some stuff. I don't love it for some other stuff. I love it for the speed of it, of course. Do I want everything that I say to be sounding like a robot? No. Why not? Because I'm not a robot. So if you start working with me, it's not going to sound exactly the same. And can AI write like you? Yes. When you have trained it very, very well, it can write like you. But for a lot of my clients, it does not write like them. Okay. And so what I see also is that for a lot of people, it's exactly what's happening. And a big mistake is to think, okay, I'm going to just build this funnel in like 4 days and AI is going to write all of my copy. And then wondering why all of your email sequence is not working. Because people, it means that they would buy from AI, not from you. So there are things that, yes, like please delegate. But if you have an email sequence that is completely soulless, no soul at all, then of course people are not going to buy from you. Same with your sales pages. Where is the soul? Where is it that it is actually your brand? And then the opposite, by the way, a mistake will be to have your email sequence really talking only to people who are in your world. And I see this sometimes. I read emails that are just for people who know you for many years. Like sometimes half of the thing that I'm reading, I'm like, I could not understand what you mean, because those words are something that you use. And sometimes there is a bit of a mix-up between using proprietary language, like language about your frameworks, about your method, or language that you use, and actually being clear. So always remembering that being clear over clever is really important. And there was a lot of clever happening. Maybe the conversion of the email is not going to be so good. Okay, just one more mistake maybe. It's really about thinking that what needs to be fixed is inside the funnel, inside the email actually. Because it depends, okay? And I think like so many people just want black and white. Like, I just want to know, tell me exactly what to write. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't work like this. I can tell you 100% the order, but we'll need to have a discussion, and you actually need to understand what is the process behind writing this email sequence. This is why, by the way, I'm leading a masterclass next Monday on exactly this, because it's not taking 5 minutes. And every single person that I have taught what I'm going to teach in the masterclass next week about building your 6-figure email sequence has been blown away. And it changed completely the entire business, because so many people think, okay, like I would just write this email, this email, this email, this email, and then suddenly it converts. But we need a lot more intention. We need to have so much clarity. And so what I'm going to share with you today are the 4 elements of a 6-figure email sequence. And I also want you to understand that each of those elements, we need to dig deeper. So the first element of this 6-figure email sequence is the order. And so you may be thinking, but you just said that it doesn't matter. Well, I didn't, because it does matter, but it is not enough. Okay, so let's talk about the order first. The order of the email, like what you share in email 1, in email 2, in email 3, in email 4, and so on, is really important because the order is going to create a journey. Okay. And so the journey follows buyer psychology. And you most probably understand a lot of the principle of buyer psychology already if you're already making sales in your business. So I would really think about this. Do I know buyer psychology? Is my email sequence creating a journey? And if not, and you don't know, should I put email 1, I don't know, objection, or what do I put in email 1? Like all of this stuff, if you don't know, come to the masterclass next week. I'm going to really share with you email 1, email 2, email 3, and I'm going to tell you how many emails you need to write depending on the offer or whatever you're doing with the email sequence. So it's going to be super, super clear. Now, the second element, so the first one, the order of the emails. The second one is going to be the structure of each email. And so once again, like a few minutes ago, I said, sometimes the problem is not what is written in the email. And that's true because sometimes it's the order, but sometimes it is actually the email. And the email itself is not making you want to, let's say, click on the sales page. And so you don't have clicks. Or people are reading it, but then they're unsubscribing. Or people are reading it and they're just like, okay, like see you next week in the next email. Like the structure of each email is really important. And that's also something I'm going to talk about next week. Number 3, our element number 3 is your voice, your brand voice. And I'm saying this because sometimes, and that happens a lot when we're using AI, is that it might not go through. Like your brand voice is not going to go through. And it's why it is important to have done some work about your brand and what you are building and who you're talking to and what are some expressions, what are some values that you want to share, because that is going to come inside having emails that convert very well, is because you are talking to people like you are actually talking. And that actually comes with our element number 4, which is all about sharing stories, sharing your value, sharing specific emotion, specific things that are going to really help someone who doesn't know you spend a lot of money with you just through emails and not through you hosting a masterclass, not through you hosting whatever. And when I'm saying this, by the way, because I'm just inviting you to a masterclass also. I'm inviting you to a masterclass, but this masterclass, it is not a live launch. Like I'm not live launching. I'm actually creating this masterclass because this masterclass is going to live inside one of my new funnel. So this is going to be an upsell that is going to be available. And so instead of just recording it, I'm doing it live. But you see, it's really like the difference between having a business that is only going to make money when you do live launch and then you have all of this preparation and stuff because you have no backend, compared to having a business where you have backend sales happening. And what you create on the front end is because right now you want to share something or it's going to fit somewhere into your backend. So everything is really connected together. Speaking about connected together, this is the entire work, by the way, that we do inside Elite Mastermind, which is my 12 months signature mastermind. And it is 12 months because it doesn't take even 6 months to create the entire backend of your business, where someone comes in and discover you and is going to binge everything that you have and buy from you. It doesn't take 2 minutes. It doesn't take even 6 months. And so this is a year-long work to do if you want to build your backend, the same way that you already built the front end of your business. It didn't take you 6 months to become a queen at content and a queen at live launching, hosting masterclasses, doing the slides, knowing how to pitch your offer, or doing sales calls or DMs, however you are already selling. It didn't take you 6 months. And so this is why I don't sell a 6 month space, is because it takes 12 months and that's just how it is. But if you want to already just do this work with only the email sequence, then definitely come in next week masterclass. If you want to go deeper, just send me a DM about Elite and I will send you all the details. So of course, I'm inviting you to the 6-figure email sequence. It's happening next week. you can click in the link in the description to book your seat. It's going to be a live masterclass, and this is for the female founder who is done sending emails into the void and is ready to build sequences that sell her offers on autopilot. So this is really so important. And I'm going to cover all 4 elements that I shared with you, but I'm going to cover especially like the order, what to write in which order. You're going to be able to ask me questions. There was also a mastermind, a 2-week Email Queen mastermind that we have added. So when you join the masterclass, if you want to take the upgrade of the Email Queen mastermind, you're going to spend 2 weeks with me, and we're going to write your email sequence during those 2 weeks. So you can ask me questions, and we'll have an extra call also. So have a look at the link. Let me know if you have any question. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I am here for you. Have the most wonderful week ahead. And please, please, please stop neglecting your email list, because the highest potential, your highest money is there. You have 6 figures in sales just in your email list. And you know it because you have thousands of people already in there. I talk to all of you very soon.